Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second of our People Behind the Projects webinar series. It's a chance for you to get to know the people that founded their fishing cat research and conservation projects in their home countries. Today, we are joined by Rama Mishra from Nepal, PhD candidate studying the ecology and behavior of fishing cats, primarily in eastern and western Terai, founder of the Terai Fishing Cat Project, and the first to do a master's on the fishing cat in Nepal. So thank you, Rama, for joining us today. You are truly inspiring. You spend quite a bit of time in the field doing research on fishing cat populations while also working with local communities at conflict with the species. And you're also a leader in the fight for human-elephant coexistence. And you're a mom of 2 kids. So for those of you that have questions and you're joining us on Facebook, you can go ahead and ask them there. We have a lot to cover today, so we'll try our best to get to them. But let's go ahead and get started. Rama, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Dylan, for your sweet introduction. And namaste, good morning, and good evening to everyone who is looking us.
So, Rama, you are the first to do a master's on the fishing cat in Nepal. Can you tell us what you discovered, a little bit about your work to ease tension between fishing cats and local people? You know, why you feel research is important to your conservation work, and you know, why is it important to be a conservationist and do research?
Okay. Thank you for the questions. Yeah, I feel proud that I did masters in small cat, particularly in small cat, and also I focused my study in the fishing cats, that is the wetland specialist species. And for my master's thesis, I did research on fishing cat. That was just the opportunity that I got that time. But later, with the result, I was inspired to work continuously on fishing cat because you know there are a lot of findings with my research from the master's dissertation part. Um, if you want, if anybody interested, that you can go through the published literature from that part. But I want to focus some particular finding what I'm interested with. Uh, so far, just I want to say that in the world, for the first time, fishing cat were radio color in Chittor National Park in the central Terai of Nepal by a American scientist team. And at that time, 4 fishing cats were radio color. It was around in between 1980s, early 1980s to 1990s. So I was very excited to set up camera traps for my master's thesis in this very location where that group has captured the fishing cat to shade the radio color. And the surprising results I get that we didn't see the fishing cat. And the reason behind that is that I consulted with the concerned scientists who deployed the radio collar, and I also consult with the wildlife technicians who were involved in coloring in that time. So I found the reason why there is no fishing cat is that um, the habitat is totally different because that time when they were tagging the fishing cats, the habitat is swampy with good pool, water sources, and high abundance of invertebrates and the fishes species. But in 2012, while I set the camera traps for my study, the habitat is totally changes. It has converted into the dry grassland with mixing of some tree species like Bombaxivia, so which grow particularly in the dry region. So I found that inside the protected area also there is hook change of habitat. It means in the time of 30 years, that is the 3 decade time. It's not too long time if we go through the geological time period. And at that time, there were fishing cat. Now it was terminated from that portion, and I didn't see fishing cat from that particular portion. And it is clear that I see the fishing cat in the other region of the Nepal. If the scenario remains the same, then it's obvious that my grandchildren never see fishing cat in Nepal. So I say that management of microhabitat inside the protected area is the utmost important, not only outside the protected area, but also in the protected area. Just I just want to elaborate the thing that with the 20 2010 Senate declaration of doubling the tiger population in the tiger range countries, Nepal is also on the way to doubling the tiger with the latest population of 235 individual of tiger in Nepal. But our fishing cat population is less than that. It is just the guesstimate population, and that is below 200. So yeah, it is the matter of seriousness. We should think for the conservation of fishing cat in micro level. So this is what I found, and other many things I have find what is the population and what are the threat inside the protected area, and what are the conservation issues, other issues inside the protected area as well. As anyone interested, they can just follow my literatures. It has clearly described, and I may have forgotten your questions. I think you have some other questions, yeah.
Yes, I
Sorry.
do. That's interesting because, there's a lot of emphasis on the tigers, the big cats, the
Yeah.
exciting cats, the ones that have the most popularity, but there's fewer fishing cats. And it's also interesting that you do focus on, doing work inside protected areas, because that doesn't seem like a lot of projects are doing that. So that's really interesting. Yeah, I do have another question for you. As we mentioned before, you're very involved in teaching community members as well as local government how to coexist with elephants, how to be safe in order to make living with this species possible. So, how are elephants and fishing cats connected? How do these two worlds relate to each other?
Okay. So I want to say that I'm elephant person and I'm the fishing cat person as well. I just cannot omit any spaces. I love both spaces, and I have worked quite a lot in both spaces. And you may wonder how these elephants, that big elephant, big herbivore in the land, and the small cat relate in the world. Yeah, but for me, it is related. Just I can't explain in my way how these are related. For this particular question, just I would like to just show this map. This you can see. This is the figure of Nepal. This is my country, Nepal. This is the flag of my country. And just I want to elaborate something here. My country lies in the elevation of uh, below 100 meter above the sea level to the old top point, that is the Mount Everest lies here in my country. So with this elevations, with these altitudinal variations, we have a total of 12 species of wildcats in Nepal, and including 9 species of small cats, and yes, fishing cat is the one. And that fishing cat lies found in this region, that is the Terai region, which consists of around 23% of the total area of Nepal. So, my project, Terai Fishing Cat project, belongs to this site where the fishing cat lies in Nepal, covering the area of around 24% of land in Nepal. So yeah, the question is how the fishing cat and elephants are related. Yeah, I already told that I worked for the both species since 2013. I working on elephants continuously, and I have continued project now right now also about the elephants, and I have conducted over 50 conservation education programs, including trainings, visiting to the local communities in the remote rural communities of the Terai region. So yeah, I have a lot of experience with these people, and I believe conservation is a social science. Though I have worked most of the times in protected area, but I worked outside the protected area as well. And in this regard, I believe conservation is a social science, and I got the opportunity to understand the population, the psychology or the perception of the people towards the animals living in the Terai region. While I was there to give training to educate about the elephants in the region. At the same time, I discuss about the fishing cat, and at the same time, I also discuss about the elephants. Just I want to insight something that um, knowing only the elephant behavior will change the behavior of the humans, so that they will come in less interaction with the conflict elephant, and they can save their lives. So my projects aims to save the elephants and save the peoples from elephants. So automatically this will help to reduce the conflict with the elephants and the humans. And the other interesting thing is that in this Tarai region, we have four different patches of protected areas from eastern to western side, and in all passes and also outside the protected area, sometimes elephant visits. And in all passes of the protected area, there lies the elephants and also the fishing cats. So these all communities, they know what is fishing cat and they know what is elephants. So I say that there is the relationship of the elephants and the fishing cat with the local communities. In this regard, I can say these are connected, and because, and one interesting thing is that the estimated population of wild elephants in Nepal is around 200, and the population of fishing cat is also around 200. So in in different in this aspect also, I see these are related.
Well, thank you for that. 50 is a lot of education programs. That's very impressive. So a lot of this work that you do involves being out in nature, and you spend quite a bit of time in the field, obviously. Can you tell us about any encounters that stuck with you, and perhaps, what species of wildcat you've seen?
Okay, I get stuck now from where to start because I have a lot of experiences. Okay, yeah, just I want to start from which species of wildcat I have seen in the wild. That is easier for me. From small to big, I have seen the rusty spotted cat, the jungle cat, fishing cat, leopard, common leopard, and tiger in Nepal. And yeah, I have got the opportunity to see lion in Kenya. Yeah, these are the cat species I see in the wild. And yeah, if I'm going. Yeah, I have a lot of experiences with wildlife stock. Yeah, I have encountered several, incidents with the pythons. I have escaped the pythons, and later I just, tossed the skin of python. I got very frightened in the earlier time, but later I am used to. It's the simple thing. Okay, just yeah, I have encountered several times with the rhino. Just I want to share one incident in short. Me and my colleagues were just following the animal tracks in the elephant tall grasslands. There is no visibility, just we have just the trail, just the animal trails and the tall grassland, no trees around. Just we were walking, at the moment, just we heard some sound from quite far distances. It seems like something like two rhinos are fighting or chasing each other. Then we just to understand how to to recognize how far the species are. Just we stuck there, and we just remains to around 2 meters apart from one another. And slowly the the sound is coming nearby, and just we thought that okay, the rhino is crossing in between us. And within 5 seconds, those two rhinos, just we were just this distance, with this around 2 meter distance, the two rhinos just they cross this way. I think the distance between the rhino is it's not more than 2 or 3 steps. So yeah, I was that much close. And yeah, that is just I one story of rhino. I have a lot of story with the rhino because I worked in the rhino lands. So yeah, I have obviously very long stories. I could not say all here. I just want to describe another story. One of my colleagues and I would set up the camera traps, and just while setting up the camera traps, we heard some sound from the monkeys, and at the same time we heard sound from the spotted deers, and we just speculate that, oh, maybe monkeys are dropping some leaves, and that spotted deer, they are grabbing the leaves, and so they are making noise. And just after we completed the complete setting the camera traps, we decided to check out what is happening there. Just we move few steps and just see two bears, two sloth bears were fighting. And yeah, that was the incident. Just we were ignored, and then we have no other option. Then we ran. Just, fortunately, we have completed our tasks in that station. And that was the incidents with the bear. And yeah, I have many incidents with the elephants, with the wild elephants also. Uh, but I want to explain one here. Uh, there used to be one elephant named Durve in Chitwan National Park in 2012. It is the case of 2012, and this elephant has killed some peoples. So this elephant seems a bit different. So we need to be, safe from that elephants. We were just walking in the grid. I am with my one of my colleagues, and a nature guide who is taking the visitors in the forest, he is inform us that the dhurve is near to us, and unknowingly we don't know in which direction the dhurve was, and we decide to run. At that time, I remember I have my luggage is too huge with big size camera and big size batteries. And we ran about around half-kilometer distance, and we found a machan that is called the tower, and that tower is of a wooden tower. That tower is not too strong, so just we climb the tower and we feel that now we are safe. But what happened, just we get surprised that we see the dhurve, just the wild bull elephant near to us. Again, we don't have option, we just get down and we again ran for another 1 kilometer. That what happened with me. So yeah, lot of stories, just I shared few of them.
So it's interesting that you share, that encounter with the elephant, because that's a perfect example of part of the goal that you're working with, is that these people that
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
in contact with the elephant, this is their life. So it's interesting that you share that story, and that you're working to, ease conflict. We have a couple of great questions from Facebook.
Okay.
One of them we will get to soon, so I'm going to hold off on that one. But there's another one that asks, they say, um, what do you feel like is the biggest challenge for you, when you're out in the field? Is it that the locals are possibly against your research, or is the location dangerous? Is that more important? What do you feel like is the most challenging of what you do in that regard?
Okay. uh, you know just I explain all the incidents, some incidents that happen in the field. Just I want to clarify that in every incident with is talking with the elephants, I just realize one thing, that we don't have time to get fear at the moment because it happens too soon. That and in that time, just we try how to we just try how to be safe from that incidents. And later, yeah, we get afraid by remembering the incidents later, because at the time we don't have time to get afraid. So yeah, and later at the same time we get afraid, and also it seems it is already the interesting story. So yeah, I feel, yeah, I feel happy later. Not only sad, I feel happy also with the incidents. And yeah, it's challenging working inside the core area, but at the same time it is it is the story, and it is sometimes it is interesting as well. But yeah, as I have worked in the community, and recently also there is a case in eastern Nepal, while bull has killed humans. and there is a lot of debate and a lot of conflicts going, and it is difficult to settle all the issues and these things. And yeah, I have faced something like, okay, you come to earn the money and you do your job and you go. This sort also I have heard. But every time when I visited the different communities, different localities, who speaks the different language, who are of different tribes, and just I speak with them, I sit with them, I eat with them, and slowly and gradually I share my knowledge with them. And I find that they are very cooperative. And every time when I visited the rural community, I get inspired, because I'm from the developing country, and in my country it's there is always gender biased. And when they see women in the community, women come from the other locations, they feel themselves different. And they will some at the same time, they feel different, and they are always seems enthusiastic to learn what I'm going to say. And so they listen so calmly. Yeah, I have felt some issues sometimes, but I have handled quite easily. So yeah, both are challenging. And if there is some trick, if you apply some trick, and yeah, both are very interesting as well.
So, it's interesting because that is quite a challenge for you to walk into these communities and where an elephant has killed people, or where they feel a fishing cat has taken from them. And so kind of on that note, you are very qualified, you're very experienced, you have an incredible story behind you.
Thank
And, we have a question on Facebook that I think is really important. What do you feel are the challenges of your work being a woman? Do you feel people have doubted you regardless of how much experience and how much knowledge that you have? Could you share is there any particular incident that you would like to share, or just in general, your challenges with that?
you. Yeah, just I got two more questions earlier. Whether it is challenging in the with wildlife, or challenging with the local communities. For me, it is more challenging to get belief from the peoples who are in positions to believe on me because I am a female. Yeah, the society in Nepal is patriarchy society, and here, yeah, sexism is the common thing we can find in every profession. And yeah, it is the field of conservation is it can't be untouched, because in this field we need to get out from the home. And in most of the communities here, uh, woman means to look after their family, to raise the children, to and it's very ashamed, but I want to share. In some families, still some family, in some educated family as well, still girls are giving the educations in the sense to get the good better husbands, not to make them independent. So this is the not the good sign. And yeah, I have faced many doubtful situations with me. And sometimes I will be very emotional with those things. Yeah, just yeah. But now I used to, in my early career, it's already around almost 10 years of time I started my career in the research and conservation. In my earlier phase, I used to think why people take it this way. I can also do, if you give the opportunity, I can also do this and that. It's the normal things I can do. I take in that way. And I have some complaints with some people. But, slowly I recognize that, okay, this is the society. They are brought up with these things, and they have their, preconceived mind. So they are never going to change. So why should I hurt myself thinking and overthinking about that? Yeah. So yeah, in one level, I just ignore these people. I ignored the people who were, of worldless, and these are in the good position actually in any job, you know. But yeah, but I feel bad for those people, for the colleagues like of my age who still think females are to work on the table, not in the field. I feel very pity, I feel very bad to them. And yeah, I have done debate with these things with my colleagues, mostly the boys, not for the girls, not with the girls. And because and the girls who is dedicated and who is passionate to work in the conservation field is really, there are really less. And who are coming, they are the excellent one. If they are given the chance, they can do better than any other. So I have confidence of that, because I myself, am the inspiration. I myself is the inspiration for me. So I think, yeah, I feel pity, I feel bad with those people who think. But now these days, I don't feel pity, I don't feel bad to myself.
Well, it's interesting that you can say, I've taught 50 times entire groups of people how
Yeah,
to approach elephants, how to do fishing cat work, how to ease tension with wildlife. And yet there's still people that doubt you, and that amazes me that that's still even possible. So it's very admirable that you can climb over that challenge and keep doing what you're doing.
yeah,
And it's interesting too, because you have two young kids and you're doing
yeah,
all of this with your two young kids. And I
yeah.
think that's incredible. So can you tell us a little bit how you juggle, the time you spend in the field, the time you spend working with local communities, working as a team with the Conservation Alliance, and you have kids?
Yeah, thanks. Because I feel this question is not only for me. This question is for all the female who wants to have babies in future, or who have babies right now and could not decide what to do. They have the interest to work in the field, or maybe in any job, but yeah, they get stuck with their babies. Yeah, I think being a conservationist is something like laughing with nature and crying with nature. It needs some passions and dedication. With the family also, I can continue my work. I just see my dedication, and yeah, I see only my dedication and my passions. Because yeah, I have lots of experiences of different difficulties and challenges I face with my kids, regarding with my kids and my careers. Just I want to share some incidents that I never stuck at home thinking that I'm pregnant. I never stuck at home thinking that I have little kids, I have little toddlers, or I am the new delivery. Because I have experience, because I told you that I have conducted around 50 different conservation education programs in the Terai of Nepal. And in most of the time, I was with baby and sometimes with my pregnant belly. And in rural communities, uh, the road is not that much good, and there were bumpings in the road, and I used to protect my belly with my baby, with some cloth is holding my belly around. So I have a lot of experiences. And I think many females, they get inspired, and they talk in this way after the program over, or before the program. In this way also, you are here. Oh, how brave you are! In this way, they inspired me. Yeah, they motivated me to do the next step every time. And I have, my first boy, he hasn't been to the field, but yeah, he has been to the field while he was in my belly. But while he come out, he is not. Because in the second time, my second baby is in my belly, I was traveling in the field. And yeah, my second baby, he was in the field as well. And sometimes, we will stay in the homestay, we found the localities, and yeah, sometimes he get ill. And I have, some bad experiences in the field. I was in the field when I was 6 to 7 month pregnant, and I was visiting every camera stations. And what happened, in two times I got labor pain in the field. It was, I hasn't crossed 7 months. I got labor pain, and just to convince me, to motivate me, just to just I just compare me with any wild animals in the inside the reserve. I think that in that time, I think to only to counsel myself. I think that every animals, every fishing cat or the tiger or the animals, any animals with the female animals who is pregnant, they run towards their prey to grab the prey. So they protect their pregnancy as well. So why can't I? I'm also the part of nature. I should be strong. I convince myself in that way. But fortunately, that was the first labor. And just in 7 month time, I, completed the field work, and I get back to my station in Chittagong. And just getting back after 2 weeks, in 7 month and 2 weeks, 7.5 month period, I give birth to my second boy, and the delivery is normal. And he is, too small, like the, like like a rat. I see him like a rat. He is below 2 kg, but fortunately he is normal. And yeah, he is good. Yeah, I have lots of experiences. And yeah, this is the challenges with my situation of my body. But yeah, other challenges also I have facing while managing the family and my careers. Because I remember the first fishing cat symposium happens in 2015 in Nepal, and the fishing cat working group team were in Nepal. And I miss, every every participants were, enjoying gossiping this and that after the program. But I need to rush towards my child. I could not concentrate. Yeah, I want to, again, I want to combine. I want to, share my experience. I want to do, chit and chat, blah blah blah, many things with these groups. But I could not get this opportunity. And every time when I applying for any conference or meeting or seminars or for any job, first I need to think for my baby. That's the challenge I face. Yeah. And this is only possible because I'm dedicated. And yeah, yeah, this is why I say that if any girl is given the opportunity, if she is dedicated, she can do the better. Yeah, no doubt.
So, do you feel that, being as involved in wildlife conservation research as you are your children also very interested in wildlife too because of your influence?
Yeah, yeah, they are interested. I don't know what they will do in future, but now they are interested because while walking, just I take them in the nature walk, and just when they see the rhino tongue or the elephant tongue or any cat tongue, like of they sometimes they form the tongue of jungle cat or the common leopard. Just they identify the which dog or the which cat is that, they talk in that way. And just this they see the pellet of spotted deer, and they say that, and they know which is the scat or the dung of that wild boar. And they know the animals. They still know the pugmas also. My anger also, he said this is the pugmak of elephant, and this is small, quite small, this is of baby rhino, and this is of mother rhino. Yeah, he talk in that way. They are very happy. And yes, they when they see some birds, they explain about the birds. Yeah, they are they are, yeah, motivated with us.
That's wonderful. You have sent a picture before of your two kids with standing with a rhino on Christmas, and it was very cute because I
Yeah.
thought, well, of course they love wildlife, as involved as you are. So we have, another thing too that's very challenging right now on top of everything else that you're doing is COVID-19 that has impacted our entire team. And
Yeah.
so how have you managed it? What have been the challenges for you during this pandemic?
Yeah, COVID-19 pandemic has, is a negative influence. I think some in somewhat positive influence also, I think, but yeah, in most of the cases, yeah, I have negative influence on it. Um, yeah, many of the things were postponed. Recently, in 2020s, I got registration in my university as a PhD student, and I'm supposed to traveling to the university. Yeah, just here comes also how I just manage my profession, my careers, and my childrens, because I never think of applying for my PhD in other countries where I need to stay for longer period. I just think to obtain PhD of sandwich model so that I can stay in the country. I can continue my conservation projects. I can sometime I can say hi to my kids closely. And so I never thought to get my PhD uh, in the country where I need to stay for a longer time. So I select the sandwich course, and fortunately, I get registration for the sandwich course. But I am supposed to travel, but I couldn't. I postpone and again postpone. I rescheduled my visit, and that is one defect I cannot do. And I have some plans to conduct after getting back from my university, staying for a few months. I have just planned to conduct my conservation and research related works in Nepal. But yeah, that I could not, that could not happen. And the other thing is that the again it comes children and the mother. Uh, Due to pandemic, all the school remain closed, and my kids who has just started to join the started schools, they remain at the home, and they disturb me every time. Maybe mother can understand. Yeah, if you may not know, other mother can understand what I mean to say. It's difficult for me to manage time with the kids at the home and my my professions. And yeah, it's hindering to manage stable work also for me. And anyhow, I managed to publish some papers. I have developed some manuscript, and I applied for some conservation grants, though some were rejected already. Still I'm positive I will apply for next time. And yes, I'm waiting for some results from my proposals. Yeah, just yeah, I just did some activities, table activities.
Well, yes, it has been a challenge for, of course, your kids. I was wondering if you were going to bring that up because it has been hard for kids to stay home. But it looks like we're all doing the best that we can with it. And despite the year has been very challenging, the Fishing Cat Conservation Alliance has accomplished a lot, and you've contributed a lot to that. So, I want to thank you so much for being here today and sharing your story. I think
Thank
it was
you.
really valuable for conservation, for fishing cats, for elephants, for women, for mothers. So you have a lot to share, and appreciate
Are
you.
we at last? Yeah, just I want to say something. Okay, is that okay? I want to say something.
Of course.
Okay, just I miss one thing. Uh, in 2017, myself and some wildlife enthusiasts from Nepal have formed an organization called Wildlife Conservation Association Nepal. In shortly, we call it WildCan. And the aim of this organization is to form the strong network between the wildlife conservationists around the country, and to do conservation works in action across the country. So we are fortunate to conduct ninth World Ranger Congress in Nepal, and through that organization, WorldCan uh, co-hosted the ninth World Ranger Congress, where um, more than 600 frontline conservationists participated over the 73 countries. And yeah, at this time I just, as a conservationist, I remember all the participants and all the conservationists across the globe who are working hard to make the earth beautiful. So yeah, from my heart I want to remember them, and I want to salute them from my heart, and
Well,
thank you for being there.
thank you for adding that. How did you get that? How did you get that project started? Um, you were a co-founder. How did that get going?
uh, just you know this organization is the network, already it is the network of all the conservationists across the country. And in the future we are looking for working in the landscape level conservation, working for the wildlife, working in the social aspects. And just we are looking for some grants. Yeah, we are just in slow race. I have also could not manage time to give full time because I am also the scholar currently. But yeah, we have we have target, we have aim to work for the conservation, just to listen the stories of the conservationists, and just uniting all the conservationists and working for the conservation. Just I want to share these things right now.
Well, thank you so much. You're doing a lot of work that, the fishing cats and other wildlife, entire ecosystems would hurt without you. So thank you so much. If anybody who's watching wants to read more about Rama, you could go to fishingcat.org and look at our partner projects. She's the founder of the Terai Fishing Cat Project, and you can read a little bit about her bio, and what she has been up to. Thank you so much, Rama. If you have anything else to add, you're welcome to. If not, thank you everyone for joining. And apologies again for YouTube not agreeing with us, but this video will be uploaded shortly, so you can take a look anytime. If you have any questions later that you think of that you weren't able to ask Rama, you're welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram, and we'll ask her for you and give you an answer. Thank you so much, Rama, for your time. You were very
Thank you,
inspiring.
Dylan, for the beautiful questions.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, Rama.
Happy New Year.
Take care. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye bye.